You've been lied to. Power doesn't belong to the smartest or the kindest. It belongs to the bold, the certain, the man who doesn't wait. This isn't motivation, this is war. Watch closely, because from this moment, hesitation dies and a weapon is born. Part 1. The Brutal Beginning. Winners aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the strongest. They are the ones who look certain. They speak without hesitation. They act like everything belongs to them. And the world, blind and lazy, believes them. Meanwhile, you wait. You wait for the right moment, the right words, the right feeling. And while you wait, someone else takes what could have been yours. That's the truth. Power doesn't belong to the best. It belongs to the bold, to the man who doesn't pause, to the man who carries certainty like a weapon. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a blade. If you don't wield it, someone else will cut you with it. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. The bold move first. Even when they lack skill, they get ahead. The hesitant stay behind, no matter how brilliant they are. Because brilliance without force is invisible. This video isn't here to comfort you. It isn't here to motivate you. It's here to control you. To cut hesitation out of your body. To show you how to speak like a ruler. To move like a man who expects to be obeyed. From this point forward, weakness will no longer be tolerated. It will be replaced. Not with talk, with action. You weren't born weak. You were made weak. And what is made can be remade. Part 2. The Inner Servant. You weren't born soft. You weren't born afraid. It was drilled into you. Repetition, punishment, approval, rules. They trained you to obey, to sit still, to raise your hand, to wait for permission. Every time you wanted to act, someone told you to stop. Every time you wanted to speak, someone told you to lower your voice. And so you learned. Now, inside you, there lives a servant. He hesitates. He overthinks. He apologizes before he even speaks. That voice in your head, the one that doubts, the one that bends, the one that asks, "Is this okay?" That isn't you. That is programming. That is the loyal dog, trained to flinch at judgment and wag for approval. But here's the truth. A servant can't lead. A servant can't rule. A servant only survives. If you don't kill him, he will kill you. Not with a knife, with hesitation, with silence, with years wasted waiting for permission that never comes. Machiavelli didn't ask. He commanded. He didn't shrink. He expanded. He didn't bow to judgment. He used it. The transformation begins here. Every time you feel the servant pulling you down, invert. Want to shrink? Expand. Want to explain? Hold silence? Want to apologize? Stare. The servant fears defiance. The ruler is born from it. Part 3. The Law of Machiavelli. Machiavelli saw it clearly. Power doesn't wait. It doesn't ask. It takes. The bold move first. They step in when others hesitate. They seize ground while others calculate. Even unskilled, they rise. Because certainty itself is power. The hesitant stay behind. They drown in thought. They wait for a sign. They tell themselves they're not ready. And while they wait, the bold already own the room. This is the law. Power belongs to those who dare, not to the most intelligent, not to the most righteous, but to the most certain. Machiavelli didn't whisper. He commanded. He didn't wait to be understood. He acted and let others scramble to follow. So the first principle is inversion. When you feel the urge to bend, straighten. When you feel the urge to explain, cut it short. When you feel the urge to apologize, hold the stare. Do the opposite of the servant, because each act of inversion kills him a little more, and each death of the servant makes space for the ruler. Confidence is not born. It is built. Built in defiance. Built in the moments you refuse to shrink. Built in the silence after you refuse to explain. This is not motivation. This is law. The law of Machiavelli. Kill the servant. Expand the ruler. Part 4. Presence and silence. Power doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with presence. A man enters the room. He doesn't shout. He doesn't hurry. He doesn't chase attention. Stillness follows him. People notice without knowing why, not because of his words, but because of the weight he carries. Silence is control. The talkative man thinks he dominates. He doesn't. He makes himself predictable. The quiet man is the threat. No one knows what he's thinking. No one knows when he'll strike. And that is why they fear him. Predators don't rush. They watch. They wait. They move only when it's time. Most men walk too fast, talk too much, interrupt without thinking. They are begging to be seen, begging to be judged. The ruler doesn't beg. He observes. He absorbs. He lets others reveal their hunger, their weakness. His posture speaks first. His eyes speak louder than his tongue. He doesn't compete. He already owns the space. Respect him? Good. Despise him? Better. Indifference to approval is the highest form of power. When he does speak, the room bends, not because he demanded it, because everyone already felt it coming. Power is not loud, it is gravitational, and silence is its sharpest edge. Part 5. The voice as a weapon. Words aren't just sounds, they are weapons. Most men don't know this. They speak like beggars. Their voices rise at the end, unsure, nervous. I think, maybe, I'm not sure. That isn't speech, it's surrender. The Machiavellian voice is different. It's slow, it's calm, it's final. Every word lands like a verdict, not a suggestion, not an idea, a decision. You don't flood the air with chatter. The more you talk, the more they read you. The more they read you, the less they fear you. Speak less, mean more. And when you do speak, cut softness out. No filler. No, I could be wrong. No, does that make sense? Burn every escape hatch. Say what you mean. Leave it there. Let silence do the rest. Silence after strength terrifies. It dares people to challenge you. Most never will. Tone is the true message, not the words. The weight under them. A voice that's grounded, steady, certain. You want to rise? Lower your pitch, slow your tempo. Strip away nervous energy. Sound like a man who doesn't ask. Sound like a man who doesn't need to be heard, but expects to be obeyed. That's the voice of rulers. Not loud. Unshakable. Part 6. Emotional control, the inner fortress. Most men master posture. Some master speech. But almost all fail here. Their emotions belong to everyone else. A whisper of disrespect and they explode. A compliment and they soften. A silence and they spiral. This is weakness. This is exposure. You can't be powerful if you can be moved so easily. Machiavelli knew it. He didn't fear enemies. He feared dependency. He didn't trust affection. He trusted control. Once people know what moves you, they know where to press. And once they know where to press, you're finished. You're manageable. And manageable men get discarded. So build a fortress, not outside, inside. Your mind isn't a public square. It's a citadel. You decide who enters. You decide what leaves. Someone insults you. Don't defend. Observe. Extract data. What do they want? What are they hiding? Someone praises you. Don't melt. Analyze. Why now? What's the angle? Someone ignores you. Don't chase. Grow colder. Let silence be your answer. This isn't numbness, it's discipline. You feel everything, But you act on nothing unless it serves your outcome. That's how you stop being controlled. That's how you stop being touched. Unshakable, untouchable, the fortress holds, and in its shadow, you become dangerous. Part 7. Rejection as a weapon. Rejection isn't personal, it's positional. People reject what they think they can live without. If they said no to you, it means they believed they lost nothing. That isn't insult. That's intelligence. So what do you do with rejection? You weaponize it. First rule, never show pain. The moment you flinch, they win. It's not about them. It's about your legend. Second, withdraw. Remove your presence like a blade. What people take for granted grows heavy when it's gone. Let them feel the void. Third, reframe. You weren't rejected. You selected yourself out of a game too small for you. You gave them one chance to recognize power. They failed. Fourth, convert. Rejection clears the fog. Now you know who doesn't see you. Now you know where your influence doesn't reach. That knowledge sharpens you. Fifth, return. Not with revenge, with presence. When success makes silence louder than words, when your very existence is a reminder of what they lost, then you say nothing. Or better, don't even look their way. Rejection is not defeat. It's the filter. It shows you what must be cut. It shows you who must be left behind. Handled correctly, rejection makes you colder, sharper, more precise. It strips away illusion until only power remains. Part 8. The birth of a legend. You don't live to be understood. You don't live to be accepted. You live to shape the room, to bend the rules, to dictate the outcome. Approval is cheap. Indifference to approval is priceless. A true ruler doesn't need applause. He doesn't wait for recognition. He doesn't ask to be chosen. He chooses himself. Presence becomes his weapon. Posture becomes his statement. Silence becomes his blade. People try to provoke him. They fail. They try to tempt him. They fail. They try to ignore him. Even then, his shadow remains. He is no longer predictable, no longer easy to move. He belongs to no one. That is why he cannot be broken. Legends are not loud. They are consistent, cold, precise, unshakable. They don't enter rooms to be liked. They enter and the air shifts. Not because they demanded it, because they carried it with them. This is the final transformation. Not posture, not speech, not appearance. Identity. You no longer need the world's permission. The world adjusts to you. You don't beg, you don't explain, you exist, and existence is enough to alter everything around you. That's the birth of a legend. Not noise, not fame, but the cold weight of presence. A man untouchable. A man unforgettable. Final command. This was never about motivation. This was never about comfort. This was war. You killed the servant inside you. You silenced hesitation. You turned rejection into a blade. You built a fortress no one can enter. Now you move different. You don't chase. You don't wait. You don't ask. Your presence speaks before your mouth does. Your silence cuts deeper than noise. Your words land like verdicts, not opinions, decisions. You don't need their approval. You don't need their recognition. You don't need anything from anyone, because you belong to no one. And a man who belongs to no one is untouchable. From now on, you walk into rooms already certain. If they respect you, good. If they despise you, better. If they ignore you, let them. The gravity will pull them back. This is your identity now. Not soft, not breakable, not waiting. You are scarce, you are precise, you are remembered. Legends don't beg. Legends don't explain. They exist, and the world reshapes around them. So here's the command. Stop chasing, Stop waiting. Step into the cold. Become the weapon.